WrestleFriends! WrestleFriends podcast!
Welcome to the WrestleFriends podcast. I'm Dave.
My name is Mark.
And were you going to introduce yourself there?
I was going to say it, Fraser.
Fraser's back.
You're like friend of the show now, regular.
Fraser's back on the podcast.
I'm on the first returning friend.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. No one else wants to come back.
Episode 19.
Is this the 19th?
This is episode 19 of general actual podcast, and we've had 2 interviews. So this is episode 21.
And this is our first of 2018.
It is.
I reckon we're probably the most not listened to podcast of 2017. Do you think we should continue the streak?
I think we're the most prolific podcast of 2017 that nobody listened to.
Would you just
because it didn't start until June?
Just to make it related, do you think we're the Kurt Hawkins of wrestling podcasts?
That's what I was going for there. Like I thought
that needs to go in our literature.
We need to get Kurt Hawkins to make a statement about this. That would be amazing.
Well, you know when we bring our book out that we're going to bring out one day, we could have that at the front.
Dave wants to bring a book out before anyone listens to the podcast.
It might introduce a few people that read into podcasting. What about like?
I don't think many people that read might listen to this podcast.
We could call the book
My mum might.
The Kurt Hawkins of podcasts.
It would be a good name. We'll need to coincide the book with his. We hope the losing streak doesn't. They've released a T-shirt, on the shop. I might get it.
Oh God!
He's undefeated actually in 2018 after one Raw.
Because he hasn't wrestled on it.
I think it was I can't remember what
happened. He was interviewed on it.
He's undefeated.
About not wrestling and being undefeated.
Brock Lesnar's been full time this year.
He has.
Wow.
That's true. This will probably be released midway through, like the beginning of February, maybe.
Yeah. So happy birthday to me because it's my birthday in February.
Cool. I might have to buy a little birthday gift.
Did yous all have a nice Christmas?
It was fantastic. I ate so much, and I'm still eating so much because we're still off.
We're still off. It's still festive.
I'm not starting eating like a grown up until like ages of time.
So I feel like I've put on about a stone. And I went to Aldi's yesterday and I noticed they were selling cheap kettlebells, so I bought myself a kettlebell. I'm ready to go when I go back to work.
I reckon
I'm going to refuse to do any sort of like.
I reckon now that you've bought that kettlebell, within a month you're going to look like Cesaro, probably.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Why? Do you want?
Because Aldi kettlebells are amazing.
He uses kettlebells.
Is that the only reason?
He also does everything else.
Yeah, he's like.
I've got front teeth and I've got a little bit of hair left. That I'm
and you're not mint at wrestling.
I'm not. Where's he from? Sweden, not somewhere.
No, Switzerland.
It's a Swiss.
Oh yeah, it's a Swiss cyber. Swiss, the Swedish.
I've just got this vision of like Cesaro with blonde hair. The Swedish Superman. What's a Swedish accent? I can't do it.
I'm Sweden, and I do the wrestling from the Sweden.
My name is Cesaro. I am the Swedish Superman.
According to Davies, went from the Swiss Superman to the Swedish Cyborg.
I'm the Swedish Cyborg, Cesaro.
So
you just get the Swiss Cyborg as well.
Ooh, you heard me tummy.
I think mine did as well. I think we're synchronised.
So me and Fraser have got talking tums today. I
think we're harmonised.
Fraser's been cracking rats at a rate of 20 knots.
I've been standing on some ducks.
That's the thing though, because like I am still eating like it's Christmas, so I am onto I think I'm on about 4 poos a day.
I was going to say all the meat increases. You're like,
do you know it's actually quite depressing? By the time this goes out mid-February, we'll be back to like normal eating.
The thing
if
is,
anything, we'll be eating less because of the amount we'll be eating right now. We'll probably be well, I won't because I'm fat as hell. But like,
I'll probably be storing it up for like a bear does.
Winter.
I'll probably be back to like 3 meals.
When
a
you
day.
start using your kettlebells, you'll be unstoppable.
I've only got one kettlebell.
Kettlebell.
So I've got one
one kettlebell.
I've got one kettlebell and I've got one dumbbell, and that's how I'm gonna get.
But do they weigh the same? So you're going to be doing separate exercises with them?
Just gonna be
You're
doing,
gonna be like Popeye. One arm's just gonna be massive.
I'm gonna be doing yeah. I've been
Out
on
of
YouTube.
Dave's gym, one cowbell, one dumbbell.
But I've got Life's treadmill as well, which is outside
The road.
the
One of the
open
roads.
road.
That's so poetic.
You're gonna have to listen.
I
just
hope
all
that
the way through
that was
because-
picked up on the
You
microphone.
Why you could just use like Life's kettlebell and just have a bag of beans or something?
Life's kettlebell.
When I was a youngster, Mr. Bohill said, "Oh, if you've got no weights in the house, just lift a can of beans." And I actually
Hill.
he had chud on his head.
He's got a chud on his
He
head.
might be dead. We shouldn't laugh.
No, he's not. He got removed though. He got surgically removed. Just for all the fans out there that know Bohill.
There will be actually some who do. Out of the
He was a mint Bohill, like.
He was.
teacher.
I appreciate him now.
PE
I appreciate him
teacher.
now as an adult, but I didn't like him as a kid. But I think as an adult, he'd be
I
alright.
don't think you ever like your PE teacher, do you? Like,
What was the boat? I kept me tins of beans in a brown basket for lifting, and
You lifted.
beans.
That kind of makes sense. Looking at your arms now.
you could have that, like, you know how we're always looking for a wrestler name for you. The bean.
That's not the kind of wrestling name
You
anyone
could
wants.
be the human bean. No?
I think the
No.
make us a Mr. Bean would sue
Do you
me.
reckon?
Fraser, how was your Christmas?
It was awesome. Just more eating.
Did you have any Scotland visit?
No, I saw them beforehand, like a few weeks beforehand.
You
so
got a Scottish family.
I'm mainly Scottish.
Wait, Fraser's dad.
Mainly.
Fraser's dad's a big Scotsman.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
Come on, the Dons.
My granddad lives in Scotland, but he's not Scottish. He's from Morpeth.
Well, we've
Probably
talked about
can't
we've
understand.
talked about his idealistic lifestyle before, haven't we?
Me? Yeah, I'm just gonna live off the fat of the land, and I'll not be able to do this.
I'd
but
like to visit your granda.
you
Can I come with you next
come up
time?
next time I go up. I need to go
Where in
see him.
Scotland does he live?
Right on the borders, in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, nice.
It's beautiful. A place called Cranshaws. It's nice.
Oh.
Beautiful part of the world.
I like it when you go to Berwick and it's like half English, half Scottish, and it's just like, ooh.
It's weird there though,
who's-
because
Well, I've ne-
half the people hate you and half the people
They've
love
got
you.
they've got more of a Scottish accent than.
There's more
English,
Scottish
haven't
people, I think, in Berwick. Like,
It's a bit backwards Berwick though, isn't it? Sorry to Berwick people.
Well, I've never gone and thought this is backwards. What do you mean?
It's like, it's a strange place.
it's also English, the town.
It's English, yeah.
But it's in the Scottish leagues in football.
Yeah, I always found that weird. I don't understand why
Fraser's
that is.
always been a follower of Scottish football because of his.
Yeah,
Lineage.
unfortunately, it's the worst.
It's pretty boring, isn't it?
Ever. It's like I'm pretty sure.
When we were kids, we'd talk about Newcastle, and then he'd be like, "Oh, Aberdeen did this," and I was like, "Don't care, it's Scottish football."
yeah,
That didn't ever happen, but
That
something
never
probably-
happened.
Celtic
It was more-
Rangers.
It was more so that I didn't care either that Aberdeen had done something. My dad would come in and be like, "Oh, I've seen Aberdeen's finally won after 37 games." But
It's like, I don't care, come go Cubs.
yeah, I'd be like, "Dad, I play better football in Aberdeen. I'm 12."
Did you ever
It has
go?
lots of, it has a business district,
What?
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, doesn't it?
Aberdeen
Massive.
is apparently it's something like the creative capital of the UK, and it's also voted the most depressing place in the
Yeah,
UK.
I would describe
How does
it
that
as
make
both
sense?
brown and grey.
Isn't it where like all the offshore crap happens?
All the oil.
Oil happens up there.
It's also the it's granite
This
city
is
as well.
the Aberdeen podcast.
So yeah, for all you business people out there that are worth billions and like wrestling, boom.
Us English should go and take Aberdeen. Take it back.
Aberdeen's not that close to the border,
No.
No, it's nowhere near.
so you'd have to go through loads of Scotland that you're not bothered about, and then attack Aberdeen.
Aberdeen's actually a very similar way to where Newcastle is. to like
I think
Newcastle.
it should be one of them old school battles as well. Everyone just turns up on horseback.
No,
Give us your oil.
no modern technology allowed.
Well, Aberdeen's like similar to like Newcastle in a way, like especially in sports, how no one ever wants to come northeast. Like no one wants to go to Aberdeen because it's just much further away, and it's even though it's richer, it's still boring.
Can
as
we
shit.
stop talking about Aberdeen now?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's talk about Middlesbrough instead.
Well, the reason why I'm doing this is just in hope that my dad might listen, so we can get an extra viewer, so we can take
Tell him.
2018 by storm.
We talk about Aberdeen quite a lot.
We'll never continue the streak if we get more listeners.
have
Come
we-
on, guys.
How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was good. I went to the pub on Christmas Eve, which I've never done for years. Took the kids though, but it was good. Still
I'm
nice
in
to
that
be out.
period of not going to the pub on Christmas Eve.
That
Well,
was your
it'll
first
come
year.
back.
Yeah.
It was nice. The kids just. I went to a pub called How Do You Do, and they've got this whole.
Were you in town?
No, it's You can see it from where we work. I don't want to talk about
One of them.
One of them anyway. And you can see the pub I went to. I think I pointed out to you before. They've got this whole Alice in Wonderland theme, so the kids are sitting on gigantic chairs that make them look really small and stuff. So they really like that, and I just sit and get pissed. It's good. Christmas Day was quiet. I made Christmas dinner. Didn't get that stressed because I got pissed then as well. The reoccurring theme here is I got drunk for about 7 days.
It's a good thing to do.
The 7 days of drinking.
And I haven't had a drink since New Year's Day now, so I'm still
I got
like,
really drunk once, and that was it.
What day?
29th?
29th?
Well, yeah, Newcastle. I wasn't out. I don't drink though, so I'm crap.
We played football the next day though.
Yeah,
I played football really hungover for the first time in a year.
Every year we do this because a lot of our friends live down south now. Wankers. And so we'll have to have a little festive get together because we used to play it like twice a week.
Sorry.
Number 8. We used to have we used to play football together in like leagues for like years, like twice a week.
I didn't because I was always shit, but I was drunk sometimes.
He was the mascot. The best thing about Jago was that actually
Hang around on the sidelines smoking tabs.
in our original team was the Misfits. We used to have those horrible green Hibernian tops.
I remember
And
those.
they were sponsored by Carlsberg. And the best thing about Jago was that his C came off and it actually just said Arsberg.
It did.
You were
Best
called
thing
the
about
Misfits.
Yeah, the Misfits.
You should have had it one of them creepy Misfits t-shirts on. That
They
would've been a good shirt.
started off in the league called the Misfits, lost every game, stayed there for about 7 years. Like last season, I think you just went undefeated or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, just like the Renfrew Rejects.
Nah. So they got rid of me and they jettisoned like lots of other shit people, and they literally had like
It took a
mid
long
team
Well, we also individually got better.
and got grew because you were only like
Yeah, we were
young
17 when
teams.
we started, weren't
We were playing against like 40-year-old blokes from building sites
Yeah.
who
that
used to
was
like
scary.
grab you by the neck and that. Literally.
we?
Choke
Literally.
slam you.
One got chased around the pitch.
That's,
Yeah, it was a nice league, but by
But
the
then
end we were the boys.
Got like heron with testicles and that, and won.
and then you got sacked.
I got sacked
Good
long
one.
before that.
Good old Arsberg there.
Arsberg. That could be a new name.
I bet you've
Arsberg.
still got it.
No, I haven't actually.
Arsberg.
I think I gave it back to you for like to use with,
Who else would want it?
with ringers. No, but you needed the
We
Hibernian
did-
strip.
Well, the reason was because in Shield,
It was
Shield's
so
market,
shit.
It was the
All Hibernian strip.
Well, it was but the good thing is though, like no one ever wore green because it's disgusting. So like we never had to wear bibs because like loads of teams would be like, oh, we'll be cool, we'll wear white or we'll wear black. And we'd be like, well, everyone
Hibernian
wears that.
green. Arsberg.
Yeah. So everyone feared the Arsberg.
Fear the Arsberg. Did you have a good New Year? 'Cause I hate New Year, mate.
I had a nice. We went to Amanda's dad's and I fell asleep on the couch about 10:30. And then New Year's Day, I wanted to get drunk, but we took Lucas to a party because other kids were there. And I had one drink and just chased him around the house.
A nightmare. New Year's Eve, I got kept awake all night because I've got a church at the end of my street, and the bells start ringing at 11:30, and then they don't stop till 11:15. And then when they obviously stop, the fireworks start, and I hate it.
New Year's Day is
It's crappy.
good
The adult
if you
isn't it?
can. New Year's Day is good if you can just get drunk all day.
Yeah, I didn't. No,
I had
stopped
but
drinking on
the
New
party
Year's
that
Day.
we went to had a good spread.
It was a nice
It had a
spread.
nice
Very
It's always nice,
Asian
yeah.
themed.
My friend Paul made a nice tart. He's turning into a bit of a
I mean, a nice tart.
tart in his old age, making
he's
cakes
good.
all the time.
He's a young Gordon Ramsay.
Right. I'm
Shall we-
gonna move on from there.
Shall we do
because-
wrestling and that?
Wait there, I'm not finished.
Sorry, sorry.
Other than
Hands up.
Christmas and New Year, have you been up to anything? Like, because you know how we usually do, like, what you've been up to? Or is it just Christmas and New Year? Because I went to see Star Wars, and I didn't know if I was allowed to talk about it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either.
I'm
I'll
gonna
talk
go.
about that then.
I'm gonna go before I go back to work.
But to be fair, I actually don't care about Star Wars, so
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about it when I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you written down like?
Things I've been up to, because usually, you know, when you come to me and
Can't
you go,
remember.
like, I can't remember what I've been up to, and it's usually just been to hospital. I thought I was
Have
going
you
to
been
have
to hospital
I
over
thought I
Christmas?
was going to have to go to hospital on, not yesterday, but the day before. Jake bit into a toffee and his tooth fell out, and I didn't know whether it was a big tooth or whether it was like a baby tooth.
Was it baby tooth?
It was a baby tooth though.
Nice.
Well, okay, so close.
Gillette.
You don't have to go to hospital if one of his big teeth falls out.
Dental hospital, especially if it's,
Aye, but
if
like-
it's snapped off and it's left.
That's not
you'd have to
immediate
go
though.
to,
You'd have to make an appointment.
Be some nerve damage.
I don't know. It would knack though if it was like the nerves and stuff.
I'm glad you've
Everything
not been in
would-
the hospital over Christmas.
No, it's quite a successful.
Festive.
There must always be that worry.
Stint.
There must always be that worry under the surface.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
today's
get
the
to,
day
like-
I'm going to have to go back to hospital.
I'll get to the day before Christmas Eve, and it's usually like, shit, what happens if I've got to go to hospital?
Do you know it'd be better if like they had a do you know how like earlier on, Jago, you got excited because of your coffee card?
Obviously.
Yeah, imagine if they had like a hospital card, and they're just like you get. Like,
But
you get,
NHS
like,
is
you-
free, so
No,
it's pointless.
no. But you get like something. You get like a little surprise or something if you, go 7 times.
you sometimes get like a little hospital bear if you're like under 5 or something like that. We've got an army of hospital
What about
bears.
There you
if
go.
somebody got you a card that had credit on for the hospital shop?
I need,
for
you know what I
coffee
need? The hospital should start doing a coffee stand because I would probably use
Okay.
that quite often.
You would?
Wait a second.
What?
Is that your actual writing?
Yeah. You never
For-
seen me writing
it
before?
looks
For
like
those
it
of
looks
you
like
who don't know
hieroglyphics.
what's going on
You never
here,
seen me writing before?
So just to let you know, just in case people don't know, like imagine if you go on Microsoft Word and you put like 12 spaces in between each letter. That's what Jago's notepad looks
I
like.
don't like writing giant notes. It's messy.
That's messy. You've got 3 words on a line.
It's not messy. It's neat. It's neat.
that's
as fuck,
actually
mate.
really neat. He's got like it all goes in a perfect line, and it's
It's like you can use computers to do that, you know, like
I know,
alignment.
but I like writing it like that. I write it messy. Do you know what I do? I write it messy on different paper, like, and then I write it neatly in my book.
Well, like you would when you were in school, so you like have shut down ideas and then you
Yeah.
type it up.
Then
like
I
normal
like-
people, but you'd write it down.
So you should be happy that I do that because that's when I cut loads of stuff out.
I'm not happy regardless what you say, but I'm just that is just a monstrosity of a book.
do you want
It's
to
not,
read?
it's got it's got the WrestleFriends written on the front.
Well,
I
yeah.
hinted so much for like something like that for Christmas, and I didn't get one.
He hinted for a book.
A book with like
No,
WrestleFriends because I'm
right,
running
okay.
out of space, man. In
Okay,
this
yeah.
book, like I'm running out of pages.
I've got the exact same.
I got a new Batman
notepad, is
notebook.
that?
That's me, like messy notebook. Then
Yeah, I've got the
before it
exact
goes
same
into this,
notepad.
It's from the works.
it's still got the price
That's
on
where I
it.
got mine from. Yeah, the works.
It's from the works.
Right.
Do you want to read something out of your book
Let's
of thoughts?
stop talking shit. Right.
Okay, see you later. I'm going for it.
Do the
10 minute
first
nap.
Wrestle thoughts.
Do the first song of the year.
Oh, should I do a song?
Oh, he hasn't thought of one, has he?
I haven't got one.
I haven't got one either.
I might have to do a greatest hits because it's a New Year show.
Let's go with the good old classic. We're the WrestleFriends, champions, and we're here to stay. We're the WrestleFriends, podcasts coming to you today.
Classic.
Whoa, yeah.
Classic.
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. Yeah.
I need to do a list of like theme songs that I can put the WrestleFriends into because I'm not happy that I'm already repeating it.
When the 90s TV show was much better at doing like really crap intros. Like
Crap but mint.
Yeah, obviously because they're really like
Over the top.
it's because so simple people can remember them.
I'm going to have to do California Dreams again at some point because that's the best one.
They don't do cartoons that are like
I might do Hang Time.
long enough to. Cartoons are quite short now, aren't they? Like,
Yeah.
right, Anyway.
Wrestle Thoughts, episode 19,
Of what?
the WrestleFriends podcast.
Yeah, didn't you?
Did.
NXT 424
Ah.
occurred on December the 6th, 2017. Right. Trent Seven versus Killian Dain. Winner gets in a fatal 4-way for number 1 contendership.
Right, I was a bit pissed off about this because I was convinced that Trent Seven won this match, and he didn't.
You were convinced because he won the Battle Royale to get that match on
Yeah.
a live show.
Uh-huh.
And then he lost the match very quickly
Yeah.
to Killian Dain.
See, I thought he won that match.
Just a crossed wire in your head.
Just a
So you
crossed
thought you
wire
were going
in
to
my
see him in the
head.
fatal 4-way.
I
and then you
sat, yeah, so I sat really excited watching that match with Jake. And
He's
I
gonna win,
said,
yeah, he's gonna win.
I know who wins this. And I was like being really smug about it. My mate Trent from that place we went to, and he didn't win.
He got.
I was a bit like confused.
It was a bit of a. He got a few like.
He got destroyed.
Yeah, he did. It was sad seeing him get destroyed. I can understand why because like Killian Dane's like a
He's
main
yeah.
NXT roster guy.
He's gonna be one for the future, isn't he?
He's alright,
Speaking
he's
of
one
Vikings, because we were speaking of Vikings before we came. Was it before we came on? We
Yeah,
were talking
before
about
we came
Vikings.
on podcast, yeah.
He looks like a Viking.
It does.
So
He's a
he
captain.
won with a Vader bomb.
Mm.
How do you feel about seeing Trent in the like general NXT mix, not like UK stuff? Would you have enjoyed it if he had done better?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good idea. Trent's the one at the moment I would have in the main NXT.
I think they're all gonna. I think it's gonna be a shame now if they do have a UK show to plonk them three back into it, because they've kind of established themselves as even main roster guys.
Because the fans like go mental for they chant UK, don't they, when they wrestle, like any of them.
Do you think it would work as well on the main roster?
Maybe. I mean, it's a WrestleFriends podcast way. Maybe they could come in as a faction, and British Strong Style could come in as a faction and attack people.
I think they love Tyler Bate coming out with his little wave. That's very.
That's
very
a T-shirt with a little hand on like that. But they've all got WWE kind of gimmicks. Like
Pete Dunne's surely got the legs in him being like a massive heel.
Well, Mauro Ranallo, a couple of episodes time, when they have the third Tyler Bate Pete Dunne match, he says and he's talked about like he wants to wrestle Brock Lesnar and stuff. Wouldn't say that unless like
it was probably going to happen one day,
because it's all planned out, like what you do say, what you don't say.
Just hope they don't like mess him up though, because they did mess him up.
We're talking about.
He came on Raw.
He went into Gonzalez. He went into the Gonzalez Hall of Fame because of stupid face Pete Dunne raising his arm with Callisto.
It needs to be erased from WWE Network.
Isn't Triple H like following them everywhere now?
Well, he had at ICW with him and stuff.
Best friends.
So,
Friends.
So
next Triple H would be my friend.
Killian Dains' Sanity theme song's got a little Irish flute in it that I'd never noticed before. So it goes like, what's this? Do you do the Sanity theme?
It's like that time Sons of Anarchy went Ireland.
It was amazing. I'd never noticed it before. I'd heard his own theme before, but I'd never noticed the little like.
So does Alexander Wolf have a German one?
Where is he?
He's the only one that doesn't have his own theme.
Does he have like
disappeared?
I'll tell you later on. I'll tell you later on in my notes.
People throwing bratwurst at him when he comes out the crowd.
What could you could have an you could have an oompa band. Let's do it. You do the Sanity.
Bow wow. Bow wow. Bow wow. Bow wow.
That was shit, wasn't it?
Job,
you do the German bit. I can't do it.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
You've already destroyed my idea.
Let's leave that.
You could bring a sausage to the ring.
I love a bit of sausage.
So then more things happened on NXT that were boring, so I didn't write them down. And then they had Cassius Ohno.
Oh no.
Who was supposed to be against Velveteen Dream, but he was injured. Does anyone else know about what's going on? How long the injury's for? Yeah.
Don't know. I didn't even know he was injured.
He got injured by Aleister Black. Injured him.
Did he? With that bloody big kick he does.
I think it was just like a general injury. It wasn't like the actual.
Was it
kick,
like during the takeover?
It was in the takeover match. It was pretty physical, like match.
It was amazing.
So good that match.
So yeah, he's out now, but his replacement was Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
So this was another match. Winner goes into the fatal 4-way for number one contendership.
Tommaso Ciampa's back in training, by the way. For anyone
he's looking hench as well.
Big.
So he wins. What was that? Was it just a hench noise? Just a hench noise.
It was just a noise that just says it all.
The Blackheart.
Tommaso
Ciampa. So he Johnny Wrestling wins via Gargano escape. What do you think of that sell that he does, where he goes all glassy-eyed and like wiggles his head about?
Oh,
Gargano.
How he's still troubled, kind of in his head.
No. Like generally in the match, the way he sells is he like rolls his eyes back and does like a little head wiggle. What do people think of that? It's not as over the top as Sami Zayn's, but I quite like it. It adds to his baby face.
You know what I like? What he does? You know where he goes outside the ring and then he does this like spear through the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's fucking cool.
It's like slingshot spear.
He's only just recently started doing that.
Nah, he's always done it.
He's did that for ages.
Why have I only just started noticing that?
He did that. I'm sure he did that in a DDT one time as well, like a swing DDT. He did.
So good.
Which was like, but you had to do it against someone smaller because like if it's a big guy, you can't run through the ropes and like manage.
And
it's
good if he wrestles a big guy because he can get caught and like chuck around.
Because little guys don't usually spear people, but like
he does it with a slingshot. It adds a little bit of like extra.
He does it hard as well, like, doesn't he?
See, I never thought Edge was a big enough guy to do a spear.
His was a technical spear, but let's not slag Edge off.
No, I won't.
Don't even go there.
Where was I up to? It was a highly recommended watch. Out of all the matches in the 3 episodes of NXT I watched, it was my favourite. So watch it. Cassius Ohno,
Oh,
I
no.
think, needs a heel turn to make him relevant again.
I think he needs a bag on his head. That's what he needs.
he was
I
he was a
think-
good heel on the Indies.
I don't know. How do you? I don't know.
Because he lost to Lars. Obviously, he lost to
I've spoken
Gargano.
about this before, though. I think that's his job now
losing.
to put people over.
But how long can you lose
But have
before the
good
fans are
matches.
like, you're going to lose?
The
well,
Dolph-
they'll put him in with a couple of jobbers now and again, and he'll win. And then
That's what they did
I thought that was
last
the
time
best
for
match. I
Sullivan,
think that's the
didn't
best
they?
match he's had since he's been on NXT.
It was
And
class.
I thought that was he actually didn't look fat and like lazy. Like he actually generally looked like
He did his flip
He's
over
part
the
of
top
the-
rope, land his hands on the apron, and then roll over. It's like
He's
for a
the
guy
type-
like that size.
he's the type of
amazing.
guy who'll put on a good match though, and put someone over, and it'll look like the guy who comes out on top will look really good because they'll have put a good match on. So it's a good job for him. Like I say, he's got no place on the main roster.
He must be nearly 40 now because he
Nice.
came up with like CM Punk and Colt Cabana and that.
Yeah.
So he's probably thinking like, I've only got a few years left in it. I'll come here, I'll put some people over, and then I'll work with like Robbie Brookside and like the people in the performance centre. Maybe that's the way.
That'd be
But he's
good.
not going. He's never getting called up to the main roster.
Nah.
he would scare kids. I'm like,
It depends though. I mean, they might give him a little run on it, like to finish his career. I don't know. Maybe he might not even want that. He might have just came to NXT to be in NXT.
I think
And
you'd
then
have
do
to.
the
Uh-huh.
coaching.
I think you would have to have someone grab like the European Championship back in the main event if it to
TV
get
title.
him back.
TV titles.
TV titles.
I don't
He
think
could be a
he's-
TV champion.
Oh, I would hate him to be the TV title.
Bring it back.
Right, here's a question. Gogs, where would you put him? So
Gogskis.
he's finished on NXT. You can put him wherever you want. 205 Live, Raw, SmackDown.
I'd put him on 205 Live.
You wouldn't do the whole Daniel Bryan like mega
No.
face.
I think he could do really good things with for 205 Live. Having that sort of name on there, especially since they've put a Tommy on there and they've got Enzo.
They're
on
building
there.
up their little
They've
roster.
got like they could have a good thing going on, especially if Tommaso went with them as well, and they could continue
Roddy?
that feud. Roddy could go on because has he got a place on the main roster?
Roddy, Tommaso, Gargano, faction.
Heel faction.
Is that
Uh,
going to be called the boring guys?
You couldn't have Gargano being a heel, could you?
nah, he's
Never.
like he is the most. He's like a natural babyface, isn't he?
They're gonna do.
Which is why I think he'll go on the main roster because there's not many natural baby faces.
Yeah.
Do you not think you get lost in the
I think they'll
lost
do-
in the shuffle a
And
bit?
I
though?
think they'll do the Daniel Bryan thing with him.
SmackDown Live, I would say he's not big enough for Raw, but I think on SmackDown Live you'll have enough time to be like really over the top babyface.
I think that he's the one that they won't put on 205 Live.
Do you know what actually would be really good with him? The Miz. I know that Miz could make anything work, but I think
Gargano.
yeah.
But
I
would he
think
have to
you
be
ju- I
a
think-
heel?
What?
Wouldn't he have to
no,
be a
no,
heel?
f-
No, like
against each
versus
other.
a Miz.
Oh,
Against
yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah,
I can't think
totally.
of anything better than that
Totally.
because that would just
Miz could
elevate-
keep up with him, like
Miz,
in the ring.
Miz can do anything.
I know.
You
That's
cannot
the same.
do it any wrong at the minute. Rolling Stones
Miz-
Wrestler of the Year
Yeah,
Miz could get him
last
over
year.
on the main
I
roster.
think that's what I would do. But I think Miz, they've got like a list of people that they want Miz to like put over. So he's probably like bottom of that list by now because Jason Jordan. And
I think
stuff.
he's still got a while on NXT. Yeah, I think he's got.
Oh yeah.
He's got a title running him. I
So
think he's got
spoilers. In a few
Chama-
episodes'
Chamampa.
time, he wins the Fatal 4-Way.
Oh my god!
I knew that.
Did you not know that?
Of course I knew it.
So
It's not really a spoiler. It's February now.
there's
remember?
two. Yeah, that's true.
So that was like
That's true.
So that was like 2
It was
months
about
ago.
6 months ago.
There's two.
He's actually on Raw now.
There's two possibilities for the takeover match. He beats.
I think Ciampa's going to spoil it for him.
He beats.
Just like you
he
spoiled
beats.
his wrestling thought.
He beats Cien, and then Ciampa attacks him,
Uh-huh.
or he is about to beat Cien, and then Ciampa attacks him. Ciampa's definitely attacking him at takeover.
I hope he beats him, gets the championship, and it would make the
Their feud even better.
mean so much
We've been
more.
waiting for this feud for 6 months.
And I think Andrade is really just holding that belt like as a placeholder.
Because
for
that
it.
act's ready to go straight up.
Uh-huh.
My theory is that Andrade got the belt because Drew got injured in the middle of the match. And
I
it was
think-
Do
kind
you reckon he was going to retain?
I think he was possibly going to retain, but also there was the fact that when the match was going on, it was so good, and Cien actually generally got to the stage where everyone's like, he can actually win this.
So do you think they would like radio through the ref and said like, tell him to go home?
I
We
think
talk-
it's
I'm
a
sure we talk
I think it's a
about
possibility that it could have happened because he was holding his elbow or something from like halfway through the match, and you don't want another like relinquish the belt kind of thing again, do you? Because it's happening loads at the minute, like over the last year or so.
When you call CN up, you've got that extra thing to say he's like a former NXT champion. But that
205 Live.
he's not going. They need to be, him and her need to be main roster, like definitely.
SmackDown.
You could join it with Jinder and have a multicultural, another League of Nations.
League of Nations 2, they can be called.
Oh, they could be the Nation of Dominations.
Hey, did you hear Sheamus is like knackered?
Apparently he's got like spinal stenosis.
That's what took Thingy out, innit?
Edge.
No. What's he called? That Hot Foundation dude. Youngin.
Tyson Kidd.
Yeah. So it finished him off, that, didn't it?
But that's why Cesaro's
Sad.
been wrestling on telly the last few weeks.
Well,
without him.
Oh yeah, he didn't, did he? I was just saying he got hit by Seth Rollins. He didn't actually do anything.
But then he tweeted today saying, "Oh, let's get back and get our titles back." So
to be honest, he wouldn't have been at ringside if it wasn't safe. Like they wouldn't even have risked that at all. Like if he had this condition, I don't think the
he might have something that's like not as bad. I hope it's not as bad because I love Sheamus. He's so good.
Those be his early stages, so I mean,
It
you don't know
became
how long
over
I've
for
got
this, isn't
left. Yep. Anyway,
Sad. NXT 425, December the 13th, 2017. So your first match was NXT champion CN versus Fabian Eichner.
Oh, there he is, generic wrestler man.
So
Eichner.
CN wins with his hammerlock DDT. Mauro Renano said something about in Mexico it was called the 100 Headaches, which sounds much cooler. They
Have
should
you
call it
noticed
that.
that you change Morrow's name every time you say it?
What do
I don't know how
I
to
say?
say it.
He's
Do
literally.
that.
I don't
I'll do
know.
it.
Mauro,
I don't know how to say
Mauro.
it. I just
Mario.
I reckon it's Mauro.
Mario.
It's not Ronaldo, it's Ronaldo.
I just don't
I
say
call
it.
him Ronelli.
Jago just goes like Mario Badabe. He sounds like you're
Should
saying
we
some
just
sort of
call him
Argentinian
Mario
footballer.
whatever?
You sounded like someone from an African village there.
Well, that's what you sound like, mate.
What
With the Alliance notebook. Guys.
So another impressive outing from Eichner. Power moves, high flying. Problem is, he's the world's most generic wrestler, man.
Yeah.
Gimmick ideas.
Tattoo. One tattoo.
I don't know. I don't care enough.
Do you know what it is? I think he's perfect to just having matches because you make them really good and no one gives a shit about him.
I don't know.
He's generic.
It's ideal to have him in matches because.
So here's the question, right? So you've got Johnny Gargano's just a guy in tights wrestling, isn't he? But he's got like personality. Or you can think of anyone in tights. What separates him from like Fabian Eichner, who just looks like a really good wrestling potato?
I think it's because he was in DIY, which were a really big tag team, and then they had the whole split up thing.
Well, they liked them before that.
Do you
anyway.
think he's got like?
And he was big on the indie scene, wasn't he?
Do you think someone like Fabian Eichner has got like personality that would just don't? Because I look at his face and I think is
I
generic.
haven't got enough time to get over everyone, so that's the problem. Like, there's just not enough time on.
You think he was signed just to be a good wrestler, like you say, who puts people over but has good matches?
I reckon he might have been one of those people that was he was in the cruiserweight
put loads
tournament,
of weight
wasn't
on, didn't he?
And they just thought, wow, he was actually quite impressive. We might as well keep him around. We don't know what to do with him, but we'll keep him around because he might get a good match every now and then.
It's a problem on NXT with it just being an hour show and 15 minutes taken up by adverts. You've got 45 minutes of wrestling. Not even that, because you've got
your
promos
promos
as well.
And you've got 10 minutes of Roddy Blee just talking about his family.
My family.
So next you had Oni. And Danny Burch versus AOP. It's nice to see AOP back at Full Sail.
Only walking.
Bitch.
AOP win in a short squash match with the last chapter. Very short. I
think we might see Authors of Pain on the main roster soon.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So Logan and Burch had a flurry at the beginning, but then they were quickly destroyed. We thought they would go up to Raw and SmackDown after TakeOver, War Games.
But they didn't do anything for ages, did they?
But then they were off telly, and then so what's their future? Where do they go now? Why have them kill Logan and Burch if they're not going to then still be on NXT?
I think D'Lo Brown's going to come back and going to have a faction.
D'Lo Brown could be with them.
That would be the Nation of Domination again.
They could call themselves the Lowdown. Was that? Yeah, that was
Lowdown
his
was
finisher,
his-
wasn't it?
That's his finisher.
His frog
And,
splash.
and his team
No,
wasn't his team with
was to lift him up and then like.
wasn't his team with X-Pac
Don't know
called Lowdown as
Frog-
well?
did
Didn't
he?
he have a team with
Didn't have
X-Pac
it.
called Lowdown?
No, X-Pac had a faction with Jerry Lynn, didn't he? Called X Factor or something.
No, X-Factor was Albert, Just Incredible.
Just
and
incredible
X-Pac.
actor, aye.
That's the most random. And they
Just
had
a
like
bunch of
that
people.
theme
Wow.
song was like, I've got everything I
What's
ever
this? Uncle
wanted.
Cracker.
Yeah.
There's a funny story because like it was this X-Pac used to like apparently kill his own career quite a lot. So he was offered
drugs?
he was offered like a theme song. So no, because they offered him he was going to go into a title program against someone, but he was like, no, I need to finish this thing with Kane first, and he refused the title. And it was like the thing with Kane was long done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was Intercontinental Championship he was going for, and he refused it because he
Still
wanted
won it a
to
couple
finish
of
this
times.
thing. But apparently he was offered Red Hot Chili Peppers as the theme song for
Wow.
for X Factor, and he said no, I want Uncle Cracker.
It's the worst. It's the
I don't even know what it is,
most
but I need it.
femme song.
You should,
I'll play it here later.
you should
Well, I can
listen to
imagine I
it.
know what Uncle Cracker is, so I can, that one song that lasted forever.
So,
Who's your uncle?
do you think AOP
Cracker?
put some people over and then go up
They gotta go up soon. I was gonna say maybe
in a faction?
you wouldn't put
Imagine
them.
a feud with the Bludgeon Brothers, that would be brutal.
That would be all. That's probably so. Bludgeon Brothers kill Ascension, kill Rizango, and then wrestle AOP. Maybe.
I think they'll keep them on separate brands, but like I
They
think
don't usually
it'd be
bring
awesome.
people up after the Rumble, do they? They usually save it till sort of WrestleMania.
You could add them into
You-
the Rumble.
the
Actually,
thing is,
couldn't
tag teams. You can bring up
You
tag
don't-
teams whenever because you always need tag teams.
You don't
Yeah.
want to put them in the Rumble though, because then they're debuting on the main roster, singles, superstars.
but they would
You
help.
can't-
But they
there's
would help
going to be
each
that
other.
much going on in the Rumble. You don't want someone like them debuting because you couldn't give them any time
Nah.
or any
But
kind
you
of.
got to think though that for the first time, there's no one like Kane and things like that in the Rumble. And
Strowman's probably going to be in.
wait, no, he's in the main event, isn't he?
He could still be in the Rumble. King could still be in
Is
the
it
Rumble.
not? I thought it was going to be Kane and Lesnar. Kane, right?
Oh, it's Kane,
Let's-
Strowman, and Lesnar.
let's-
Kane, Lesnar, and Strowman.
Let's just deviate for a second. I'm going to continue with Kane hate. So on the Raw, on yesterday's Raw, so on Monday's Raw, which was the first.
Yeah, it was the first. It was the first.
The first thing that happened is Kane came out and chokeslammed Brock Lesnar in 2018.
What wasn't the first thing that
Pissed
happened?
that.
There's a reason for it.
End of
but,
opinion.
Yeah, but did you not see that Lesnar got instantly back up like Kane would?
He did, but why is Kane?
laughed?
Why is Kane even? Kane should be like
He's
nowhere
there-
near Brock
He's
Lesnar.
there to take the pin.
I know, but like it's been going on for too long. I've been complaining about it for ages.
He's
Glenn-
just there to take the
Glenn
pin.
Jacobs, man, local mayor.
I've heard rumors.
I love that.
I've heard rumors of a Brothers of Destruction reunion for WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's highly likely.
That's fucking stupid.
I will cry. That's
it's
a
probably-
waste of one of my WrestleMania matches.
And it's probably right going to be American Badass Undertaker as well, because surely he's retired that gimmick. Like
yeah, that makes it worse.
Well, no, he was the American Badass when they were the Brothers.
when the
of
World
Destruction.
Brothers of Disruption, the Brothers of Disruption.
Oh, do you know who else should?
That's like
Do you
who
know
should
what?
be the Brothers of Disruption?
How about Mauro Belletti? He could be the manager.
Right, so they've got a new thing, Street Talk.
Oh yes, that's cool. I love this.
Profits talk to fans on the street. Kid gets a Street Profits Cup. I want one.
I want one as well. But do you think where you can get them? You can't get them.
I'm pretty sure in this room I've got some like spare red cups.
Now I want one of them ones because they exist now, so
Oh
I'm
my
going to
God.
buy one.
They've got to be black and they've got to have the gold thing.
So we might have talked about this previously, but like
Other
they're
cups are
doing the
available.
Street Profits because the New Day are going to break up. Surely
Xavier Woods in the US title tournament, isn't he?
you beat English as well. He's into the next round.
That's a spoiler.
I
I
just
haven't seen
noticed
that
this
episode
one.
yet.
It's not a spoiler. It's February.
It happened this morning. It only happened last night.
I know, dude. I haven't had time to watch it yet.
Sorry,
It's alright.
So
Spoil me life.
ruined your whole day.
is that going to lead to the break of the New Day?
Don't know.
But that's why profits are similar enough that it's
Have you got any interest in anything the New Day does anymore? Because I don't.
I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
When the best New Day time was when they weren't
When they were
the
healed by any chance.
when they were heels and they were still funny, but they weren't pandering to the crowd. They were telling them to shut up and stuff.
It was WrestleMania. Dragon Ball Z came out with
That
this
was
big
amazing.
cereal
I
box.
still love them. I still get.
But
a
you know
little,
what I like
They
about
had
them
some
in it?
great
I still
matches
get a little
against the
chubby when they
Usos.
come out. Recently,
Yeah,
that Hell in a Cell was mint.
Every match against the Usos was like one of the But what I really like about them now is that the New Day thing is basically helping Rusev Day.
Yeah.
It's like literally you can see the fans are like deviating slightly. They're just using the same chants and the same banter and just going with Rusev.
Top seller on WWE.com.
Is it?
Rusev Day
Yep.
t-shirt.
It's
They're
awful
gonna,
t-shirt as well, but
Roman Reigns isn't even in the top.
It's not
like,
even in
5.
the top 5.
that's because everyone's already bought.
You know the
that's why.
NWO t-shirts in the top 5, but like Roman Reigns isn't.
Is Roman Reigns not had the same t-shirt forever?
No, he's had loads. Shield's in the top 5, but Roman Reigns isn't, and this is the reason they did it. Right.
So they'll probably wreck Rusev's career now because he's kind of self-made hero now.
He'll get
isn't
Zack Ryder. Shayna Baszler coming soon. Anyone excited for that?
he? No.
Okay.
Sandwich?
Sorry.
He chokes out Kairi Sane.
I'm quite excited for it. I much prefer the NXT women's than the main roster.
Women's
Just because it's a bit more aggressive.
riot
That's
squad.
the only reason why it's a bit more aggressive. Because
I'm going to get back to that as well.
I much prefer the
Riot squad.
Who's the? It was Ruby Riott versus the girl that was on the Raw.
Oh, Sonya Deville.
Yeah, she's much better when she's on NXT.
Yeah.
And like I wish she'd stay on NXT because she could be the champion.
Ruby Riott and Absolution have got t-shirts on the shop. It's just lasses, just women together.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme, no reason. There's no storyline. It really annoys us. It's so lazy. Lazy.
I found it really lazy at the time as
Stop
well
watching it.
because
I like women's wrestling.
on Raw and SmackDown they literally just did the exact same thing. At the
That
exact
was
same
really
time.
that was annoying as well.
And
So-
one's much worse than the other. Like the Riot Squad.
But there was no like promos. There was no Ruby Riott turns up first and then says, "Oh, this is going to happen."
Yeah.
There was no build. It was just like, we've got 6 women.
You could get away with it on Raw because Paige was coming back, and it
Yeah.
was like Paige coming back with our lackeys, but like there was no reason.
Paige's
for the
lackeys-
Riot Squad.
It's slightly better.
They're
But they,
much
but
better.
they should at
generally.
least have some. They should at least have like similar gear to Paige, or like
A Crichton face.
have a weird plastic surgery or be white as fuck. I don't know. It just annoys us. So
It annoys us.
main
so
event
much you said it
is
twice.
Adam Cole versus
Baby.
Aleister Black. Adam Cole, baby.
You did it wrong.
How did I do it wrong?
You
Oh, he
said
does. Yeah,
Adam
he
Cole,
throws it.
baby, and then put your hands up.
Oh,
You
well.
gotta do it together.
And also like you need a little bit of a gap between Cole and
Just
Baby.
because you bum Adam Cole,
I do. It's really good.
who is treated, I'm sorry, in this match like a jobber.
Yeah.
So Adam Cole got beaten decisively. Actually, this is another match for that fatal forward, just in case.
You bum Adam Cole.
Not as hard as you two.
I'm a gentle lover.
you love Adam Cole.
You would give him a kiss.
I'd make out at least 10 minutes beforehand.
Adam Cole, he's beaten
Baby.
decisively by Black Mass. How did you feel about him being
I like
beaten
Aleister
so?
Black.
Yeah.
I love Aleister Black. I've told you before.
Do you not think it
he's
was a
famous.
mistake him being beaten so cleanly though?
I
Nah,
don't- not with
because I
Adam
think he
Cole.
pulls off the really cowardly Shawn Michaels.
Chicken shit heel.
Yeah, and I think he does it really well. And I think that's what they should go for with him. He's so good at
Do you
it.
think
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier
It
on?
was
Do you
like
think
watching-
they were trying to keep his like momentum up a little bit by him shouting like "Show me what you got" right in his face before
like,
he like
he
kicked
literally
him.
just
being a cock, wasn't he?
He just told him to kick him in the head, basically.
Uh-huh.
But I agree with you. I think the whole Adam Cole thing is he
It was
could,
like
he could
watching
get beat like that every game.
a new era Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. It was really good. And I
Yeah.
hope that they continue that feud which they are going to do.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll be really good. And I think he'll get his cronies involved, so Fish and O'Reilly, so he will get a win back.
Yeah,
It'll be a
exactly.
cheap win, but he will get a win
That-
back.
that-
And it keeps Aleister Black looking strong because he's getting
That-
cheated out.
Aleister Black,
Exactly.
secret entrant into the Royal Rumble.
No. Apparently Vince is really high on him though, but I don't think he will be in the Rumble.
Would be nice though.
It would be nice.
I'll just keep him in the NXT. I don't want to see him get beat. So I just I know he kind of technically did like another time, but like it's
The only time
it-
he's ever been beat was in the Fatal 4-Way.
exactly yeah.
Yeah.
But it was because
But it
of,
was because of interference.
but that's what I think what you're saying is right though. With Adam Cole, he could get beat quite like that all the time, but he could still win a championship just because he's so sneaky. He's got 2 cronies. He plays it perfectly. You get anything's possible with someone like him because he can just do anything in that way.
And then you're right about the promos they're doing. They're like NWO, the music and everything. They're like a
Music's
cross
the
between
same.
DX and the NWO, and they're like.
Do you think enough time's gone past that people will accept it, or do you think people will start? See, I've not read much online of people calling bullshit on it and saying it's like 2 NWO or 2 DX. I think people are pretty pleased with it. Like,
I think people are just happy that Adam Cole's in.
I think people are ready for something like that. They've been watching the Balor Club outside of WWE for a while, and they've been clamouring for something to happen inside of WWE. I'll talk about that later, though.
WrestlePods preview. Yeah.
NXT 426, 20th of December 2017.
It's almost Christmas.
It was an extra long episode at 1 hour 12
Oh,
minutes.
wasn't it?
1 hour 12.
I was excited about that.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I remember thinking like, ooh, are they listening to a podcast?
I thought to myself,
TV
shit,
title.
how am I going to fit this extra 12 minutes in? It's alright though, because I fast forwarded the women.
Well, Jacob talks more than the length of each NXT about each episode usually.
That's true.
So
That's true. So you got Sanity. It was Dane and Young because Wolf was not clear to wrestle because he had staples in his head from War
Is that what it was?
Because it did the promo the week before where they show you the staples in his
I
head.
thought that might be what it was.
Versus Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT Championship. O'Reilly and Fish win the belts. Adam Cole, chicken shit healing again. I liked how Nikki Cross dived on him and Nikki Cross filled him in.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you were saying. He's not. It's proper Christian. Remember Christian's chicken shit heel character. Similar to that, isn't it? Like a creepy little bastard.
He's class ass. I like that because she came out of nowhere as well and literally just wiped him out.
She's doing that quite a lot though. She's always running out of the crowd, isn't she? And
that's the thing.
doing
You
mad-
can't see her. I thought
That's
because she's
her
like
thing.
4 foot, so she barely makes it over the barrier. Have you seen her?
But it was a little bit.
Surprise entrant into the women's rumble.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd be surprised if there's enough. I think there's.
They're gonna have to have everyone.
There's 30 of them, so there'll be people that don't even exist.
Yeah.
There'll probably be Tyler Breeze as a woman might turn up.
That'll be mint.
That would be really funny. That
It was. There's been a couple. It was Harvey Wimpleman dressed up as a woman for a bit, and Stevie Richards did it as well.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So yeah,
Ooh.
Young and Dane were more bothered about trying to get Cole, who was interfering, and then Young got back in the ring, and it was total elimination and lights out. New tag champs. I'm excited because I wasn't feeling Sanity as tag champs.
Right, let's go in depth with Sanity now. Right, so they've lost the tag team belt. Doesn't look like Eric Young's ever going to get a singles.
Dane's are most likely.
Do you think when they go up to the main roster, Killian Dains going to stay on NXT?
Yes.
I think that will happen.
I think they're going to do Dane Sullivan next
I think Dane's going to have to stay on NXT for a little while whilst the rest of them go up.
and get rid of the Sanity.
Well, they could go up with Sanity, but without him.
No, but Dane get rid of the Sanity,
Oh, yeah,
Sanity
he-
gimmick. Just have a flute.
Yeah. Bow wow, bow wow, bow wow,
I'm a leprechaun.
bow wow.
So
I'm a Viking.
how do you feel about
Don't steal
them
my
two
pot
as
of gold.
tag champs? Excited?
Oh yeah, I think they need all of the gold.
I've got
just to be big
I've got a
cocks.
hunch. At Takeover, somehow Cole's going to end up with the belt. I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe his champ attacks Gargano backstage, and he ends up in the match somehow.
How about this for a?
I think you're
How
reaching
about
there,
this?
But I was convinced that the three of them were going to have the belts soon.
How about this for a story, right?
Because you keep saying he's a little creep, so he's going to find some way to do it.
So
Tell us the story, Dave.
he has a story.
Story time with Dave.
It's story time, baby.
Oh, he did that, didn't he?
He
Good
did,
segue.
They have the title. So Gargano wins the championship.
Mhm.
They have a title match at the next takeover, but it ends up being a triple threat match. Them two are too busy fucking around with each other that sneaky little creepy boy
That's the belt.
ends up getting the belt out of their feud. That's how
I think he gets into the title
cool
match.
story, bro.
I think he gets in the title match at the next takeover. I think it'll be that soon, the one in
Really?
January.
I don't. Nah.
It depends if Regal will end up doing one of his little promo things where nothing happens and it's just announcement. And he's
I
like,
love
oh,
it when he does that because he does that at the
cringe
beginning
so
of NXT
much.
and it sets up the whole.
It does, but
episode.
it's so cringy. It's like
Enjoy NXT. Joe
it's
says at the end,
like
doesn't
it's
he?
like it was filmed in the 80s. The way it's done, it's like
Yeah.
But that's where all the guys who put it together came from.
yeah. Let's move on. It's not about Regal, so
So next, Heavy Machinery
So Regal.
talk about stakes and weights.
Ah, yeah. That was
Sabatelli
funny.
and Moss enter and talk about their expensive car. Dozovic shouts, Asa, and then they drive away.
Uh-huh.
That was it.
Perfect. The best bit was the stakes. Stakes and weights, stakes and... What did he say? He says something about...
Steaks and shakes or something.
Steaks and shakes. Stakes and weights.
Do you know Steaks and Shakes is a place in America? It's like a chain. So
Maybe they can have heavy machinery as like their sponsors. Poster boys. I love them, mate. But once again, I think they haven't done anything for... They've had a couple of squashers, but haven't done anything for ages.
There's not enough time.
They're too good at... NXT are too good at making tag teams.
There'll be a shake-up soon. There'll be a shake-up where a lot of them go to the main roster and then a lot of them are going to get, like...
They're going to go further forward.
I think they'll be building a lot of people up individually for when WrestleMania happens, because that's when they did the big shake-up after WrestleMania last year, didn't they?
They always have a bit of a shake-up after WrestleMania.
Yeah, but it was like a massive one last time. Like, full on, like, loads of people changed, so...
I'm wondering if anyone will go up after the Rumble, because there seems to be people who are ready to go in NXT before WrestleMania. It's a bit like the silly season in wrestling, isn't it?
It's that problem that we talk about. It's like not having enough space on the main roster.
And you've got Raw 25 coming up, which is going to be also full of mental surprises.
And it'll have olden day people too.
Yep.
Next.
So just to interrupt there, I just really hope that with this whole shake-up, it might be the first time where they include NXT where people might go down.
Yeah.
Not call it going down, obviously. Because I just think it'll be awesome just to see other people get a bit more of a spotlight as a main event.
We've talked about that before.
Ziggler for NXT. We've talked about this before.
Oh, there's plenty of things happening with Ziggler at the minute, I think, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about
So next you had Sullivan and Roderick Strong for the final position in the Fatal 4-Way. Sullivan wins with the power slam and then the freak accident. Should be the other way around.
Yeah, definitely.
Strong got a lot of offense in but couldn't put him down. Sullivan's biggest win so far?
Yeah.
Bigger than the Ono win, because Ono's Ono.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Ono, you just push him over.
That was all I thought. Sullivan,
big match, Roddy.
Sullivan keeps getting, the push continues.
To be fair,
they do a new
Roddy
thing
just
where
gets beat all the time, actually, doesn't he?
Yeah.
When
He
was
hasn't won
the
a
last
match
time
for
he
a
won?
while. He's that plucky guy, isn't he? That's the thing.
It's annoying as fuck.
They do a new thing with his entrance now, so he has his red light when he walks down the ring, and then he stands in the ring and they shine a spotlight on him, and you can just see his silhouette. Like he's definitely going to be a big deal when he goes up. Street Talk again.
Yeah.
Another lad gets a cup. I want one.
You must be able to buy them. You know.
Not yet. I've looked on the American one as well.
No, but you know when you go to NXT
Live
shows,
the live events,
I bet you get every.
You get free one.
Yeah.
You might get it if you buy like a Street Talk cola or something.
Yeah. Probably will.
I'll get one eventually. So you had Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate 3 for the UK Championship. Yet another classic, obviously. What can we say about these two that we haven't said before? We've talked about them at length. We've probably talked about them for... If you added all the time we've talked about them in all of the podcasts, we've probably talked about them for about 5 hours.
We could talk about different things, like the singing voices or something.
He had different ring gear on.
What did you think of it? Shiny blue pants?
It was cool.
So my question is...
His looks changed quite a lot since he first came, because when he first came he was sporting the sort of like...
1920s.
Yeah, and now he's sort of like... He's more like...
Normal future man.
Everyday guy.
I can see, do you know, when he comes out and he does the wave thing. Like, he feels a bit reluctant to do that now. Like, it's almost like he did it, and then, like, he doesn't actually do it when he comes out all the time straight away.
Yeah.
And then the whole crowd just wave at him, and then it's like, oh crap, you'll go again.
He has to embrace it, I think.
I don't like his music, though. I hate his music.
His music was much better for... It's because it was a slightly different one in the UK Championship. Pete Dunne's music was better in the UK Championship tournament as well, but...
Oh, that'll change when they start getting more game time.
So Dunne retains with a bitter end after a 30-minute match. This one was like the most physical out of the 3 matches, I think.
Oh, it was
just like battered each other.
It was all the joint manipulation.
Like,
he did about 10 minutes.
He did one where like he pulled his finger back, put it on the mat, and then stamped on it. It looked really good. Like obviously he didn't dislocate his finger, but it looked painful.
The dislocation, he had to pull it back in and stuff.
It's kind of like what we were talking about before we came on air, because you were talking about Jimmy Havoc and his paper cuts and stuff like that. It's like when you've had something like that done to you, and you know how hard it must, like how horrible it must feel. You're sort of like sitting in your chair cringing, like.
Watching that match was the first time in a while in wrestling I'd watched it and I winced a little bit. Like.
Same. That's the UK guys though. That they've obviously found a bit of a niche, like where like I bet loads of other indies people do that, but like they actually managing to bring it to a main stage, and it just looks so much better.
Marty Skull does the finger thing.
Yeah,
as well.
he's like he does the whole like 70s wrestler thing,
Mm-hmm.
British wrestler. Right, so out the 3 matches, so you got the one at the UK Championship tournament, you've got the one at Takeover, and you've got the one at Full Sail. Which one was your favourite?
Takeover.
The Takeover one.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah, that was the most memorable. But this one, I like them all for different
technically
reasons.
that was the best, the middle one. But I think I liked the first one because I literally knew nothing about either of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell, these guys are mint.
I think that because in the middle one, they had the whole Takeover crowd there, and everyone
In the
was on
palm
their
of the
feet,
hand.
and it was just like I'd never like for a while anyway
was
seen a crowd
so loud.
who probably didn't know them that well on their feet for them, and it was like you say, it was so loud.
That was match of
So
the
the
year.
second-
I think
the
that
second one,
atmosphere
the
had
sec-
a lot to do with the fact that I enjoyed that so much.
So
I
the
wasn't
second
even
best,
there.
the second one the best because of the
Atmosphere.
setting as
Yep.
well.
I think the first one, like, they'd already had several matches in 2 days, so you could see that they couldn't. Like, when you watch them in the second and the third one, like, especially the second one, they were everywhere. They were all over the shop.
That was
weren't
such a
they?
good tournament, that though, because considering I didn't really know anyone in it, I'd heard of Trans 7, I think, and I'd seen bits and bobs of some of the people in it, but like how sort of involved in that I got watching it, and like and how well I sort of like it just felt like immediately you knew these sort of characters.
I really like the way
Um,
they did it because it was the way where it was set as well. It almost had an ECW kind of like really like just in the middle of a room kind of feel to it.
Because
And they managed to do-
it's because they dim the lights at NXT. That's why.
And they managed to
So
do that
good.
instant stuff. So it was a 2-day thing, yeah. And they managed to get a little storyline in.
Oh,
over
we're
2
in-
days
oh, we're
where
in
people-
On
the-
top of the UK
Yeah,
Championship.
okay.
yeah, aye,
Right.
and they managed to do the Pete Dunne attacking someone.
Sam Gradwell.
Yeah.
You could see
Like-
straight away Dunn was the guy though, wasn't he? Because he
Ah,
was the
totally,
only one
yeah.
that had the actual.
Do you
like,
think it was better
plot
him?
Yeah.
out of everyone?
Do you think it was better him not getting the belt the first time?
Well, it just made his heel even more of a heel, didn't it?
But I don't think they heal him up enough on NXT.
For a 2-man for a 2-day tournament.
got
The
enough
good
heels,
guy
though.
had to win, didn't he? Really.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the end.
Well, apparently he wasn't the planned winner.
Who was?
I've got no idea, but I think it was probably going to be Pete Dunne.
Do you know who I'd
But-
like to see get a run with the belt? Wolfie.
Nah,
Yeah, he seems to have disappeared off
Gone.
the radar a bit.
it's good, like, but I think from what I heard, the plan was done, and you can probably tell because like he attacked someone, and he was the only one that did something that wasn't outside of the normal schedule.
Yeah.
And then the crowd reacted to Tyler like.
He attacked Bate as well
Like,
before the match.
yeah, like it was mental. Like the crowd loved Tyler, and also Triple H was like, "Who's this guy? Like
Who's
this
this kid?
guy's insane.
Who's this 19-year-old?
This guy who can like lift anyone and do backflips." And so I think that's what they decided to do. I think it worked out really well because
No,
they
it
did a set of 3 matches over the span of a year, and they've been 3 of the best matches of the year, I would say.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion.
I'll always remember 2017 for those 3 matches.
Maybe we should do a 2017 special
Retrospective.
after we've recorded this about favourite matches and where we hope 2018.
I would have to have written it down. I would have a thing.
We're just
on
doing it
about
on a whim.
So
I'll try.
Me and Dave will just do it then.
You two just do it.
Why don't we do like we could?
Special.
Are we gonna continue this one? You wanted to do an hour, and like
I've talked for too long.
Mm.
I'm not finished yet either.
no, you know.
I got some wrestling DVDs for Christmas.
Did you?
Yeah, I got
What?
Destruction of the Shield, and the Sheik documentary.
Any good?
Awesome.
What's the destruction of the shield?
It's just a little like documentary and then like 9 hours of matches, like basically all the matches from that first run.
Yeah.
And it made us like really like realize how shit the like because of injuries the last run was.
That it wasn't really down to them though, was it? I mean,
No,
it's been a really
It could have
bad
been
look,
great,
like.
but yeah, like still my favorite introduction of the last like 10 years of any wrestling thing ever.
Mhm.
Loved it.
That was just above the Nexus for me. I really like the Nexus.
Yeah, the Nexus was pretty cool. I thought the Shield had more long.
The
Stunning
Shield
impact,
were
though.
more badass though because there was about 12 in the Nexus or something, wasn't there? So it was
Yeah.
You made 3 main eventers out of the
Yeah.
Shield, whereas the Nexus was like Daniel Bryan was the only main eventer that came from it.
well, they had a fair few of them that came because Ryback was one of them.
That's true.
they had
Ryback was in the main event
Wade
of it.
Barrett.
Who's dropped hints who might be entering the Rumble?
Yeah, I heard that.
Atunga was a good commentator
I wasn't.
for
He
a
was
while.
awful. He was awful.
Atunga.
He's just bad. You know who else I hate? Percy Jackson. Him and
Oh.
Percy Jackson are the worst.
What was going on with Atonga? Why did he ever get put on commentary?
Because he was
Point,
he was married to
Jennifer
Jennifer
Hudson.
Hudson, like a famous
right.
person.
She won an Oscar.
They're not anymore, though, are
Nah,
Are they not?
I think
they?
she's
Did
caught.
they do bad things?
Was that recently?
Allegedly did
Yeah.
bad things.
I was gonna say because she was on The Voice, like wasn't she? And she that came up about how she had a really hard husband, and she was like, "I'm harder."
He's not hard.
Nah, I'd knock a tongue out.
He's hard. He's from Harvard.
Anyway, that's me.
That you? About time. You've took up the full hour of the podcast.
I haven't really got any wrestling stuff, so that's fine. So it just saves time.
Should
I'll
we just go
check in with
straight
yous.
into Dave's?
I'll just check-
Dave's wrestle thoughts gonna hit them in your ear holes.
I thought you were going to say like anus.
Yeah, I wouldn't hit anything in your anus. Don't worry. So
It's my favourite planet.
your anus. Right. So finally, we have the Balor Club on Raw.
Oh Christ! You know when it like I was watching it and I
You
thought,
knew
fucking
I was
hell,
gonna
Dave's
talk about
gonna be
this today.
excited about this. So are they doing it? Like, do you think they're doing it for like it was not just a one-off?
I don't know. I don't know. That's one of me question mark questions. Do you think it was just a one-off?
I hope for your sake it
There's
wasn't.
been a lot of social media of them getting in a car together and.
Well, they had an interview where they said like sometimes. Oh no, hang on. It was one of them tweeted saying sometimes you just gotta wait a long time for a good thing or something like that.
I think
was
they looked happy doing it, like massively happy.
And they wouldn't have been happy if it was just a one-off.
They had
probably.
the really small segment in the backstage, and it was kind of like you could see how chuffed they were. Like even though they only said about 3 lines each, like you could see how happy they were that they were together.
They've had a shit 2017, to be fair.
Team up in the
all
Rumble
of
for
them.
Finn to win.
Yeah, I thought that maybe. They've had such a bad, like they tried to make him a pumpkin, and they tried to. They've jobbed
Always
Gallows
go
and
back to
Anderson
pumpkin.
out at every single tag team on the roster.
What they just when they actually just promote the WWE shop exclusively, that's pretty much their job now, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, considering how much they came in with such an impact when they killed the Usos nearly, and then
That
just
was
got
mean,
beat off everyone.
Kill the Dudleys.
They looked fresh in the ring. Obviously, Gallows and Anderson must have had a break off telly. I haven't seen them on telly for ages.
No, they were in that weird Christmas street fight, weren't they? Dressed in Christmas things. Nobody wants to be in the Christmas street
Nobody
fight.
wants to be in that. They were in the dodgy
That's a
Halloween
video.
one as well, weren't they? So they
Or
were-
it might have been like in my
Was it
mind
not
the Halloween one. I'm sure.
They haven't been on telly for a while, I don't think.
Yeah, they just did the shop.
And they've been singing with Elias. They've done
Yeah.
loads of shit. And obviously Finn's been a pumpkin.
I think they've just been doing comedy things. That's all they've actually been doing. I think they've been trying to push the fact that they're actually quite funny guys.
Do you not think
Without
Finn
wrestling?
Balor's looked massively unhappy on Raw since he got back from injury? I don't think he's been happy at all.
Well, it's because apparently Vince doesn't think that he's over enough, so they're just not letting him.
He's made it quite.
How detrimental was that injury to his career? Like, got called up, beat Roman Reigns clean, beat Seth Rollins clean, won the championship.
There must have been a point where Vince was pretty high on him though to do that though.
Oh,
Yeah.
massively.
'Cause he was coming up with all the hype, wasn't he?
And you had the whole demon thing. And I hope they kind of put that on the back burner.
But the
for a
reason
bit now.
that he's not getting as good as reactions is because they treat Finn Balor like a jobber, and then it's the demon who wins the matches.
I think this whole situation, in my opinion, with the club, I think they've kind of dangled a carrot to the universe, as if saying like, we want to see your reaction. Like if it goes mental, we probably might do it.
What was the reaction like?
Good.
Yeah, it was
Really good?
It was apparently. From what I read, the in-house was like loud as hell because you don't always hear it when you watch the shows, do you? On
Yeah.
TV?
Apparently they got a just as big, if not bigger, reaction than the Shield. But I also part of us thinks that this might have been put together because the Shield's been a
Disbanded.
big fucking nightmare. So they've had to do something to sort of like.
Well, and because they haven't got the shield.
They
now.
need to keep the demon away
finished
from the
already,
whole
isn't
situation.
No,
And it needs to be like cool.
I think it's a good way to make Finn a single competitor again, though, as well, because you've got 2 massive guys
We
behind him.
we don't even
I think
know.
they
Like,
could work as heel as
I
well.
don't even know
Or
where we're
heel.
going to go with this, but that was my next question. Would you make them heel?
Obviously,
heel faction?
everyone heel. Obviously.
Because another thing that I was going to say is because the Shield haven't officially disbanded yet. They're still obviously Roman, Seth.
That's tantalising.
So how
what you're
how
about to suggest is tantalising.
How a club Shield with Jason Jordan costing the Shield the match, leading a heel turn from him, like a full-on heel turn. Seth, Jason Jordan, WrestleMania.
Is Jason
Because
Jordan?
I think the original plan
is
was-
Jason Jordan in a position where he could be in like a
big match.
big match
I think
at
it's going to have to
WrestleMania?
be because I think the original plan was probably for Ambrose to turn heel.
Yeah.
and that would have been the WrestleMania match. And I think they're just going to probably sail through that with Jason Jordan.
I'm glad that we haven't seen another Ambrose Rollins match. There was a year when there were class matches, but there was a lot of them.
Oh, well, they were going to make a Jordan heel turn, weren't they? But then they've had to like put that on the back burner.
They kind of like he's doing that annoying thing anywhere. He's being really annoying, and he's annoying Seth by like jumping around and stuff and like having an ego.
It's a build up, though, isn't it? A build up to a heel, I think, because it's basically like everyone's so annoyed by Jason Jordan now that like every time he just comes up on stage, everyone just boos because they're just sick of him. Mm-hmm. And I think obviously it's good because he gets a reaction. And he always does like good in matches as well, doesn't he?
So
I love that kind of heel as well, like little
annoying person.
A reluctant Roman Reigns joins up with Seth and Jason Jordan to fight the club, Balor Club, whatever you want to call it.
I disagree. I think it needs to be pure. I think they need to wait. Balor Club has a face run, and they need to wait until Ambrose is fit, and they need to have a pure Shield club.
Well, it was
match.
Apparently
maybe it's a TLC or something like that, like a proper.
Apparently, there was a big debate of who was going to be the title holder with Seth between Balor and Jordan, and they decided. And again, Vince thought he's not over enough yet, so we're going to put Jason Jordan. So,
but Jason Jordan's not over.
Well, no, but the crowd react a lot more to Jordan in one way than what they do with Phil.
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 Phil Balor has to go into the concert as well.
Phil the pumpkin.
Phil Balor. I never find things funny, but that was really funny.
Phil. No, but I think that's what they're doing with the club. I think they've dangled the carrot.
That's how Barry Uri's had it. Jason Jordan's more over than him.
Well, if you look though, every time you watch Finn wrestle, like it's
Phil.
good. Like, but he is more Phil now, isn't he? It's like
he's more Phil than Finn.
It's like all these matches aren't like anything anymore because I think the whole Bray Wyatt thing killed him. In
the pumpkin
last year,
I'm so glad that match never happened.
I wanted it to happen.
It wasn't even.
I wanted to see the pumpkin.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just the pumpkin.
I
it
was
just generally the whole thing because by then everyone.
So bad.
I think the demon needs to die, mate. I think it needs to go away.
I think it needs to go away. I don't like it on the main roster. It worked well in NXT and it enclosed sort of like the small.
But you know why? Because Finn Balor won as well.
You can't just put.
I pointed my finger in a really angry way.
If you think about it, putting makeup on's a more girly thing, so why does it make them harder?
Being sexist again.
Sexist dude. Anyway, I ordered my new Kenny Omega t-shirt. I thought I'd put that into my thoughts.
That is exciting.
I'm excited about it. I wish it was
Did you get some Christmas money?
No, what I did was... I
spent less money on the kids.
What I did was, I said, because my birthday in February,
that's a good idea.
I said I'll have an early, because I wanted it for Wrestle Kingdom, but I don't think it's going to come in time. Have you guys got any hopes for the Royal Rumble? Any early hopes? Because we know Phil Balor's an entrant, and so is John Cena. First two that we know about.
Who would I like in it?
Who would you like in it? Any NXT people? Any surprise legends in it? I don't like it when they put legends.
I would like to see Aleister Black in it. They did one. Who was it? Who was in the Royal Rumble? Went away for ages and then came up like 6 months later. There was somebody who was in the Royal Rumble last year.
did it.
Yeah, but somebody, I'm sure somebody
got a massive reaction, didn't he?
I'm sure somebody was in before that, and they didn't get called up till like 6 months after.
Sami Zayn, was it? Did it once?
Something like that.
Came up
anyway,
with Kevin Owens.
I think it was.
I can't remember who it was.
Was up on the main roster, and Sami was still on NXT, and he went straight for him. He eliminated Kevin Owens. Remember?
I'd like to see. Yeah,
or did they eliminate each other?
I'd like to see Aleister Black in, and then. Not
Andrade?
but still not get called up for 6 months. Yeah, Andrade would work as well because he's the one who's going to be recent. Like having the NXT champion and he could come down with the belt. That would be cool.
What about Lars or
imagine Lars?
Dane?
Lars would be cool. Actually, I think Killian Dains the most likely because
establish their dominance as people. I mean, they'd still get beat, but because obviously all they do is get 8 people to put them over the rope. But like, obviously, it just makes them even bigger in NXT. Doesn't it?
I think Lars needs. I think Killian Dains are more likely. Lars needs to come up like with promos and that.
Any actual words.
Any legends? Who's been kicked around? Jericho, like you said.
Jericho's
like after because it would be the ultimate swerve. People would think, oh, he's got a New Japan, he's going to wrestle there, and then
Brian. I don't think he will.
Nah. He's going to have a WrestleMania match. Which looks like Shane, which I'm really disappointed about because
That's ridiculous. And have someone like
good.
Well, there's also rumours that someone might wrestle on Shane's behalf, or
That would be better.
Yeah, but there's also rumours someone might wrestle on Brian's behalf as well.
But
that would be bad.
Yeah, but if that happens, then it's not anything to do with Brian, is it? It's like just
If they don't
prefer
clear
that, if
him,
anything.
if they don't clear him to wrestle, he'll have left by the end of 2018.
September, isn't it?
I'm with you. I would prefer someone to wrestle on his behalf than him to actually wrestle Shane.
Yeah.
When he's got a point though, when you look at Angle, who's been allowed to come back and wrestle, and he's not allowed.
Surely
to.
Angle was in worse
nick
than Brian.
Thing is though, Brian's younger as well. Maybe he's not thinking.
Angle's
We can
always
nip
had a
this in the
broken
bud
neck.
now. you know what
I
I mean?
always go back to.
The thing is,
I always go back to Shawn Michaels was off when he injured his back for 4 years,
they're not going to stop him from
That was
wrestling.
bad.
and then he wrestled for like ages.
DDP yoga, that's why.
They're not going to stop him from wrestling. He's going to go to Ring of Honor. He's going to go to Japan. He's going to wrestle again. Why not have him wrestle in WWE where he can be monitored by proper people, proper doctors, and look after him?
He's not going
You know,
all over the place.
Daniel Bryan will be the biggest wrestler outside of WWE if he goes independent, I think.
Oh, without a doubt.
So why not manage that marketing? Why not have the whole? Although he might go back to Bryan Danielson.
They've already
Doesn't matter.
They've
It's the guy,
already
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
got
the main thing.
like-
But I'm thinking marketing wise, like money wise, obviously you won't be able to sell Daniel Bryan t-shirts and stuff.
There's a ready-made storyline already. They've already started on Twitter the back and forth between Bullet Club and Brian.
Yeah,
Like there's story there already.
because he's not
You know
going to
what I
join
mean?
the
He's not gonna
Bullet
join
Club.
Bullet Club.
He's
is he?
going to be the
He's be the
opponent.
face, won't he? Cody versus.
He's
Brian.
got a massive name because he was the American Dragon in Japan before he even came to WWE. He had a massive name.
People like Brian are clever though. It's how Jericho did. Jericho started having this debate with Kenny Omega for months and months and months, almost as if like, look, we'll put it out there, see how people react.
Well,
and then
everyone thought that
went
was real at first because
Yeah.
they've been on the podcast together, and I thought that actually like really got on quite well. And then he started slagging Omega off, and like.
But that was all just wrestling.
But you didn't know that at the time. You thought, listen, because you never thought in a million years they'd wrestle each other.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? And now look at it.
It is. You just because of things like Twitter, though, you can dangle that carrot, and if enough people react, the money's there, isn't it?
Do you think there's a little bit? I know we've probably talked about this already, but do you think there's a little bit of the Omega Jericho thing where Vince has like said to Jericho, "Can you go and see how good this lad is for us?"
I think there's a good chance Omega might show up at the Rumble.
No,
Come on.
nah.
There's gotta be.
Well,
that would be
There's
the
gotta
biggest
legs,
thing
right?
ever.
Can you imagine, right? Omega enters the Rumble. Chris Jericho, Omega, second match at WrestleMania.
So
It's
they
no,
enter
it's
the
not
Rumble
Jericho,
like
Like
fif-
carry the storyline.
they
on.
enter the Rumble 15 days after they'd had the.
Yeah, both of them.
So if Jericho,
I think it's.
Can you imagine though if
too
Jericho
fantasy.
entered the Rumble and everyone went mental because he's back,
And then Omega came in after him.
at the end, eliminated him straight away
No,
or something.
Jericho enters, right, and you go off it because Jericho enters. Next entrant is Kenny Omega.
Yeah, it's fun. It's amazing, but
Well, it's got
is there a
goosebumps.
little element of it in your head where it's like,
Well,
right?
how
So
about this has happened though?
Right,
There's
he's
been
all-
talks. There's been talks. Japan, they've bought Omega out of his contract. They say, "Well, give us
do
someone
you not
for
think they're,
one last
do you not
final
think they're
match."
making too much money out of him being in Japan though? Do you not think Omega himself in the Bullet Club that would be a stupid thing to leave?
But
What
do you
happens if he
think that
what happens
they
if he
can,
comes to one
like,
match?
Vince McMahon's got more money than anyone to dangle in front of him, though.
But what
Would
happens
you
if
think he's just offered him like a ridiculous contract?
what happens if it's like a contract like
You're
Lesnar
essentially
where he's like
killing-
got 2 matches?
You're essentially buying Omega, killing part of indie wrestling as well, because he's the biggest.
But people said that about AJ though, and Omega was even bigger.
Oh yeah, somebody else will come along, but yeah, you know, for now, he's taking the biggest.
If that
guy
happened,
from
I
indie
don't know
wrestling.
how I would deal with it. I think I'd have to lie on the floor, me living room, like. Well, I'd already know it had happened. but you know what I
It
mean.
would be mint. Can you imagine if they do pay just 2 appearances for it to happen? One the Rumble.
Well, what's
like
it that
that.
you have to sign him as a?
Yeah,
a
you'd have to
signee.
have him as a signee.
Well,
I think you'd
well,
have
you would
to have
ideally like that.
finalised,
What's
like-
his? Does anyone know the details of his New Japan contract?
I think it's he signs them yearly, but Vince could easily buy him out of his contract.
I don't know. It would be exciting. It'd be worth it for
Like,
The only thing that's holding him back is he's still holding that
US.
US belt.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yes, we will. Tomorrow, is it? Tomorrow?
8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
in February.
In February. So yeah, they're my early hopes. Anyway, I do hope that happens. That'd be really good. I just want to touch on Ziggler.
I'd touch him.
Because originally he
touched on
disappeared,
him.
and me and you talked about it. We thought there might be a new US title belt coming.
Yeah.
That's why he ditched the belt in the middle of the ring. But
After
obviously,
the
seeing as
tournament-
it's February now, everyone will probably already know what's happened.
They
but
might unveil a new belt for the end of the tournament.
maybe it's
I know a theory that's been on the internet.
I want it to be Woods, you know.
It's to do with WrestleMania. So apparently there was, I can't remember who it was. But
There's rumours he's going to win the World Rumble.
The idea is that
Heard that.
there's going to be a champion, and at WrestleMania Ziggler's going to actually come back and fight them, but he's going to have the belt as well. And it's going to be like Razor Ramon versus Shawn
All
Michaels.
right, yeah, that'd be cool.
Where they're going to do a ladder match. They're going to have Intercontinental versus Intercontinental for the actual thing. It's just almost as if like I've came back, I've decided I want the title, I'm the guy.
That would be cool.
And
That
because he's
would
like
be
a Shawn
cool.
Michaels as well, isn't he? So if
Yeah.
it's a bigger guy, like a Razor Ramon kind of guy, I don't know who it would be by then. It'd probably be Jason Jordan or something. But
One of the best ladder matches I've ever saw was Ziggler Harper.
who's still in that tournament?
Woods got through.
who won out of Rojo and
Baron Corbin.
who won out the out of what they're called, the Hype Brothers?
Ryder.
Did he?
Yeah, so you've got
Oh, wow.
Woods, Ryder, so it's not going to be Ryder. Who are the other two?
Corbin's in it, isn't he?
It's Corbin.
Rude and
Rude.
Rude.
So it's going to be...
Rude beat Corbin.
Yeah, and then who was the fourth?
That's it now, though. They're down to the last...
No, there's three.
That's three, there's one more
Corbin
there.
got beat by Rude. I almost called him Good.
Good.
Anyway,
Good and Phil
can't
Balor.
remember, but
That'll be good. Anyway, it should be interesting to see where they go. I have actually heard he's going to come back at the Rumble and
What-
win the Rumble.
what about Woods? Yeah, and win
What
it.
about
What about
Woods?
Woods? Like a decent reign with the New Day, like backing him up, and then Woods and Ziggler in a ladder match,
The more
double
Woods,
championship.
the more
That
Woods,
would be a little bit taste.
the more Woods, the better. I think
Yeah,
the,
me
the,
too.
the keep
The more wood,
You
the
forget
better.
how good he is in the ring. He's fucking
I've
awesome.
got Woods.
He spends too much time outside the ring, doesn't he, Woods?
He does
The
this. He
trumpet.
does this like springboard clothesline. That's like
But
absolutely
me and
mint.
Jiggle spoke about this for like a couple of years now, where we've said it's perfect though, because Woods he's been like almost kept in cotton wool,
Yeah.
and he's got, if anything, he's more over than any of them, and he's wrestled less than any of them. So you've just prolonged his wrestling career really, because they've been having like crazy matches and stuff, and he hasn't had to do as much. And I think recently they've started promoting how strong he is. I've noticed that a lot
Yeah.
over the last couple of weeks, like months.
He's
Well,
like squat, but you can tell he's like.
like that.
strong
We
as
talked
fuck.
about that last time, didn't we? When,
But they
what-
chose him for the Hell in a Cell match as well, which I thought was weird ahead of
Yeah.
Kofi.
But one thing I think why they keep him is because he's massive on social media.
Aye.
He's huge.
But he's like YouTube and that.
He's probably the biggest outside of the obvious like John Cena and stuff because of his YouTube and his.
But it's
his
run.
gaming
That's
blogs.
why it's all right. Is this like WWE like approves it all, whereas Ryder just went off and like did it by himself.
He does a lot of the crossover stuff as well because the indie guys go on that up,
Yeah.
down thing, don't they?
Yeah. But I think that could be a TV title because he's like a YouTube title.
YouTube title. Somebody's got one of them actually. I'm sure it was Defiant. Have got a
It's
YouTube.
a
Is it
social
a
media
social
championship or
media
something.
championship?
Yeah, I couldn't be a YouTube one. I'd let
So whatever is going to happen with Ziggler, it's going to be exciting.
Mhm.
Whether he turns up somewhere else, wins the Royal Rumble, does this thing that you're talking about, it's going to be interesting.
Long overdue.
Did
push.
you
Yeah.
hear the interview with was it Jericho or Edge and Christian?
It was Edge and Christian. I think it was really good there.
Because it was that was before this just happened, and it was almost as if like, look, my contract's going to be running out soon or something. Something's going to happen either way, and then this happened, and I was like,
I wonder
What
if a
does that
few of them.
mean?
It
have said
reminds us of
lately-
CM Punk running off with the belt and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I wonder if a few of them lately, because there was a lot of rumours going around that a lot of people had talked to Cody about making it big on the indies. If the likes of Ziggler, Finn Balor, they seem to be getting what they want at the
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
And like you've got to wonder if they were just like, look, I'm done. You know what I mean? I can go and make money elsewhere now, and I know I
Yeah.
can. You know what I mean? So Phil Balor, whatever you want to call
Phil.
him. Phil and Dolph could make big bucks on the
Totally.
indies. So
I think from what you were saying in the interview, though, this has literally been perfect. What's happened, because it's almost like he's happy to lose all the time, but he has to win every now and then in a big way. And this has been like a huge way. The way it's happened is almost like he's controlled everything in the situation.
he's at a run where he's just been coming at the
But the
ring with
Bullet
no
Club
music
have
and
given
stuff
these
like
guys
I
the
love it.
control, really, haven't they?
that. The what?
The way the Bullet Club's gone and indie wrestling in general is what's given these guys this control.
Yeah.
But
you couldn't go to Vince in the past and say, look, this is what I want, but now you can, because he knows you can make a lot of money.
Yep.
Dolph Ziggler opens a Pro Wrestling Tees store, like online store.
Yeah.
You live off that.
Dolph Ziggler could walk into Bullet Club
Yeah.
and fit perfectly, and he'd have a Bullet Club t-shirt.
Dolph Ziggler
like,
is Omega's replacement in your story.
Possibly, yeah.
I think at the minute though, with the storyline they've got, anything's possible for Dolph Ziggler now, which is actually quite exciting, because I can't remember the last time there's been a situation.
He deserves it, man. It's been so long since he's had, even his last IC title run was pap.
If anything, really for me that was all for the Miz though, that wasn't it? If anything,
put the Miz
Just
over,
set the middle.
Anyway, that's all my thoughts. Did you got any thoughts?
That we've not covered.
I've probably covered most of them. One which Dave will have to have his sandwich with is I
might not have a sandwich. I might have to go for a poo instead.
I feel
He needs a poo. He thinks women are poo.
Maybe he's talking about the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
It probably deserves a bit of a mention because it's a big event after the whole first women's title match in Middle East as well.
It was weird, wasn't it? How they had to make new gear for Sasha Banks that covered the whole body.
Yeah, they both had to wear full body suits. But with the Royal Rumble, I've got an idea, which I think I told you briefly about it. I don't know if it'll happen though. Is to introduce what's it called?
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey is the winner of the Royal Rumble.
I think that's gonna be a thing, isn't it?
I think because
she's definitely signed, hasn't she? But they don't know what to do with her.
If you sign Rousey, she's basically going to have to do everything like Brock Lesnar, because she's behind Brock Lesnar and Conor McGregor. She's the biggest draw for UFC, so she's obviously huge. So to sign her, she has to be a champion of some kind. And I think the way you do it is by breaking Asuka's undefeated.
Oh yeah.
So what I thought is, even though Asuka's already announced that she's in the Royal Rumble, last episode they mentioned as if Asuka might come for the title sooner than you think. So I think Asuka might get the title offer at the Royal Rumble, and not go in the actual Royal Rumble itself, and then Ronda Rousey come out and basically say look, I'm going to take your. And that would be quite an exciting thing as far as women's wrestling goes. I don't think
how many women are in the Rumble?
30.
Is it 30? Is it?
So I'm going to see people that I want to see up. Like we're going to see Peyton Royce probably.
You love the Royce.
I do.
I do.
Many times.
The Royce.
I'd like to see a hologram of China
Probably see Ember Moon.
in the Rumble.
How would that work? Just have somebody with a spotlight moving it around the ring.
Just a big light, yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I tell you, there's one thing that seems to be gaining a bit of momentum is Beth Phoenix come back for a one-off.
Yeah, I've heard that.
She could do a one-off in the Rumble.
Trish.
Stratisfaction.
Just kept herself tidy.
Lean.
Indeed.
Tight.
We all know China could
I
do
think we're
it.
borderlining on sexism here again.
And deadism.
And dead is
Don't know what the word is.
necrophilia. No, that's back.
But yeah, I think if
Kane did that.
Katie Vick. Did you know that they had a character who had dark matches with John Cena that was going to be Katie Vick's brother, but it never made them. Thankfully, it never made the light of day.
I read that the other day.
Wow. But
Mad.
yeah, I think
they actually had footage of it from before SmackDown.
I've seen it. Let's move on from this.
Actually, I wish that it had happened.
Yes, no, let's move on.
Oh, so one quick thing. I've got another thought after that, but I think if that storyline did happen, I don't think we'll ever be that. I don't think in women's wrestling will ever be as big of a storyline as that would have ever happened.
Ronda Rousey
versus Asuka.
Asuka at WrestleMania. That could be your semi-main event.
Yeah, I think that's what they might push for.
Asuka?
It couldn't be a main event, but
that's what they're pushing for, aren't they? They're pushing for that to happen, even whether it deserves.
But they had the match. They had the triple threat a couple of WrestleManias ago with Becky Lynch, Sasha, and Charlotte, and they had all the big pyro and stuff. So they could do something similar to that.
So
how much are they going to be paying Rousey if she's in?
Well, same as Lesnar.
He's not going to have enough money left over for a mega if you signing her.
Why? You're a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire
He's
anymore.
just sold loads of shares. He's got loads of money.
Apparently, he's trying to start up another football league.
Yeah, I know. Because that worked so well the first time.
That's his dream, isn't it? I've got one more wrestling thought though. I don't know. You might have actually talked about this on the last episode, but I haven't heard it. So as if you did. But
18 isn't out yet, so we might have done.
Walking Matt Hardy.
Walking.
We did briefly, but
it's finally happened.
On it, I don't know if they're doing a good job with it or not. To be honest,
I like the promos. All that's happened is they've had the promos where they've sent mental things between each other, and then he's attacked Bray on Raw, and then laughed. Which I love his laugh, mate. It's pissing people off, so that's why I like it.
It's going further than what it did on TNA, though, isn't it? He's like actually like laughing and doing crazier stuff more.
He's wrestled on live shows, and it's just the piano track.
Yeah,
which I like.
I don't know, like.
Well, I don't think I've seen enough of it to judge it.
It's gonna get with people who are unaware of it, who haven't like watched his stuff outside of WWE, because obviously they went off it when they came back as Team Extreme. Which we all were a bit like,
don't want to see that.
Don't want to see that. He's too old for that now.
The live shows, apparently they're going mental for it.
Do you know that?
Do you know when he first came back the first time when they did that? And then he came out and went, ah! Like, apparently, like there was a live view of someone on the phone doing it, and it was literally like you couldn't hear it when I was watching Raw, but it went viral on the internet, and people were just saying like. Easily got the biggest reaction of the entire show. Like everyone, the whole crowd was shouting delete. Because
it's more bad news for Bray Wyatt though, isn't it? Because like
he's gonna lose.
He's gonna lose.
It's keeping him relevant again.
I'm gonna keep my judgment for a few months' time.
Yeah,
and then
I want to see.
What he does at WrestleMania.
The thing about
WrestleMania, a woken WrestleMania entrance.
What could we do? They could do the same thing they did again, where the Enigma comes back to stop the Woken, as if they give me brother back, and then he turns into the Enigma.
I think they need to go darker with it if they're going to do this, because at the minute they're going full on comedy with it, and I want to see it go.
But he had a full on comedy stint in TNA.
I know, but that came. I think it was really dark when it first happened. It was really dark, and I'd like to see it more like that before.
It depends on what the first match is, doesn't it?
Well, if the first match, I mean,
if the match is going to be like a proper hardcore, like no.
He doesn't need to wrestle. That's the thing. Broken Matt Hardy doesn't need to wrestle. He just needs to cut mental promos all the time, and he could like. He's not the best in the ring anymore, is he?
A few matches and then faction.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can't really do the leg drop off the second rope anymore.
He's had like his hips out of alignment and stuff.
He's like walks around like.
I think this big gimmick coming at this time in his career is perfect because, like you say, doesn't have to do mental things anymore.
You've just got to give him free rein with it, like he had, because
apparently he has though. He's got.
Well, you've got to, haven't you? If you don't do it, what's the point in doing it?
And Vince is really high on it, apparently. Yeah. So
let's
hope it goes. Maybe Vince will just start being a little bit busy with his football thing, and maybe it's Triple H will edge in.
But they haven't released any working merchandise yet, which is stupid.
Well, they've
already got Absolution T-shirts and Riot Squad, which Working Matt Hardy was before them.
No, about the same time. I think they were on the same episode. Right?
That pointless collection of nothing, and you haven't even got any working merch out yet.
But
yeah, like you say,
but once it comes, it doesn't make a difference whether they release it a month or after, or whatever. Because at the same time, the same amount of people going to buy.
Do we heal him up or do we keep him as a face? He's not. He's going to get cheered for either way.
Yeah, I think he's a tween. He's like he can do everything.
He's gonna get. I would like to see the Hardys split up on different brands now.
Like I've always said, Face Jeff, old school Face Jeff is what I want.
They can bring them back together for a last tag team title run anytime, can't they? Like at the end of their career.
Well, that could be when he goes like Brother Nero.
Well, apparently Jeff really wants to do the Demon versus the Enigma.
Yeah.
One day.
I think it would be a good match.
Face paint everywhere.
So we're going for a Phil heel turn, a walking face guy, and Enigma coming back to face Phil.
I don't know how long his injury is though. No, the Balor Club stuff needs to be separate from Phil. From
yes.
from Jeff. From Jeff.
Yeah. Brother.
Has anyone got a nice little poem?
I've got a nice little poem.
Do you want to read your nice
Can you do a theme song for Wrestle Poem time?
I can. Wrestle poems, sometimes they rhyme. Wrestle poems, mostly they don't. Wrestle poems, will you read one to me?
You've done that like melody loads of times for songs.
When you say melody, do you mean the lack of melody?
Yeah, I'm going to write down a list.
How dare you?
I'm going to write down a list next time of like new tunes to use.
That must be my like
with your
screensaver song. You know what I mean?
With your writing, that must take 3 pages.
You know when you get put on hold. That's
it is. That's your like when you're on the phone at the bank. Right. So this poem is about
like a novel.
This poem is about when about wrestling DVDs.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic network. You are a beautiful thing. So much content to explore. What joy it brings. But nothing can beat getting a wrestling DVD on Christmas Day. The thought of watching those contests makes me feel very gay. You can store it on your shelf or rip it to your computer. It really is as exciting as seeing a pair of hooters. The main thing is you own the matches forever and tell people facts about them to make yourself feel clever.
Nice. I think
Gay as in happy.
happy. I think
Old
the
gay.
network is killing.
Old day gay.
The network's gonna be killing DVD sales, surely.
Do you know what I think they started doing with the DVDs recently is they've been doing DVDs and adding extra things onto the DVDs that you don't get on the network, like the more interview kind of things.
And like they put dark matches on and things.
Yeah.
There's been a few though. Like recently, I've thought I'm gonna get the Kevin Owens one.
I've watched that one.
I kind of got back into it a little bit,
Kevin Owens one's great.
especially
He's just done a documentary on the network as well, hasn't he? 24.
Yeah, 365.
365.
No, whatever.
But
I watched that as well.
I'm
a big Kevin Owens fan.
DVDs. I miss them. Obviously, network. As I said at the beginning of the poem, still bought it.
No, so no, innit? Getting up and putting your DVD in and that.
But not when you've ripped it a computer.
No,
Do you know this? It's kind of you didn't do that,
I have.
have you?
I've been
Now you're
using.
the other kind of gay.
I've been using Handbrake.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
don't
what
know
you're
what that
talking about. I'm
Neither do
gonna
I.
read my poem.
I just like I just like getting Jago excited about.
I
doing
like
things
how
for no reason.
Dave's still digital on his phone.
You gotta be quick though in case the battery runs out.
Ooh.
It's called Rub-a-Dub-Dub. Rub-a-Dub-Dub, it's the Balor Club. Let's go for drinks in a Balor pub. Let's drink beer and other stuff. I hope you think I'm cool enough. I would like to be a good brother. Call people nerds and to sweet each other. AJ is cool, he can come too. Without him this reunion just won't do. After the pub we can go to a nightclub with the club. A rub-a-dub-dub.
I like it how you're like, how do I start this? I rub a dub dub.
I like that you could have you could have had theme music to that. It could have been like.
I thought I could have done a bit of a rap there. Like I
like
didn't really.
It's one of your best works.
Yeah, well, it's probably because I love the club so much.
I know who's gonna go in the Gonzales.
So do I.
Is it Phil?
It's Phil. Phil the Pumpkin.
Phil the Pumpkin Bella.
Phil Bell.
Phil Bell. Phil Bab.
Phil.
Do you remember Phil Bab?
Favourite son.
He
Phil
slid
Bab.
clear the ball and he caught his knackers on the post. Do you remember?
I do remember Phil Bab.
I think Phil remembers that.
I reckon.
It's not one you forget, is it?
I reckon Phil Balla hangs around with Phil Bab
Do you
in a
reckon?
pub in Ireland.
In Ireland.
Dressed up as the pumpkin.
Even though he wasn't Irish, he was one of them non-Irish Irishmen.
Was he not a Scouse?
He was played for Liverpool, didn't
Oh, yeah.
And Sunderland.
he? Did he?
I can't imagine Phil Babb with a Scouse accent.
Oh, with balls.
Phil Babb. Phil Babb.
Fraser, do you want to make up a little poem?
Oh, I don't know how to do this.
Just do a haiku. Just
Hi.
3 lines. But don't think about the syllables because
Yeah, I was
you'll
going to
take too
say,
long.
so it's not haiku.
Just do
basically-
3 lines. A 3-line poem. Do it about Woke and Matt Hardy.
Do it about Phil Bab.
Will this be the first non-wrestling
Wrestle poem. It could be about Phil Ballard and Phil Bab being friends.
Phil Babble poem.
Phil Babble.
I don't even know how to start. It's oh, the
Once
pressure.
there
Should
was,
just not.
The pressure.
You don't have to.
Once there was Phil Babble.
He hung around with the rabble.
He used to do a dabble.
And then he
Phil Balla.
Phil Ballard.
and then he died.
Do you want to open the door of the Gonzales Hall of Fame and throw Phil the Pumpkin in?
Phil Balla and Phil the Pumpkin Bella. That was good.
Anyway,
I will finish.
I think we're done, aye.
SARS everyone. That was a bad. the pressure on my lack of poem.
This was the WrestleFriends podcast.
We were the WrestleFriends.
Dave, what's the social media?
No one needs that.
You do,
No
man.
one needs that anymore.
We've got
It's the WrestleFriends at yahoo.com.
Yep. They're just that one.
Just that one. That'll
WrestleFriends.
do.
Just find WrestleFriends. Type it in on Google just to get some searches up. Even if you can't find it, just WrestleFriends, Wrestle.
Friends. Yeah. Were there first 20 search options in Google?
What?
Were there the first 20 search options in Google?
Cool.
Is that from you?
Shall we leave it on that bombshell?
On that bombshell.
Bye.
Top gear. Good night.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Muddy jacket.